Hi everybody, I'm going to do a cover illustration for my book Common Ground, which is now on Kickstarter. I'm just going to show you how all the illustrations were made in the book and see if we can get a cool image for the cover. I'm working with this Strathmore Tone Tan paper, 11 by 14 size. You can see that the illustrations in the book are quite large, or larger than I think some people were expecting. 11 by 14 is a nice size because I'm working with not very precise brushes. I have these just Sumi bamboo brushes, which are kind of worn down and not very precise. And so working large allows me to get a somewhat more detailed and realistic. So I have my brushes, I have some Bombay India ink, I have a cup of water which is now black because I've used it before. Got paper towels right here to dry off the excess ink out of the brushes. I have my little model of the buffalo guy right there. See if I can move him right there. Made him out of clay. I have some white charcoal to pick out some of the highlights. Smudger for the white charcoal. A kneaded eraser. And an X-Acto knife for scraping away at the surface if I need to lighten or darken an area. I'm going to start with a pencil sketch. I just have this woodless graphite pencil, because I would start directly in ink, but I want to have some sort of realism, and that requires a little bit more prep work. So I'm just going to get started, and you can watch as I do this. I'm using the side of the pencil. I use the tip of the pencil in here, but I'm using the side of the pencil for the bigger shapes, because I don't really need much precision before starting in inks, except for the face, which I kind of needed to get right so that it matched with the rest of the book. But this stuff, I'm just kind of using the side of the pencil and kind of giving an idea about where the shadows are going to be. Now that I have the two figures laid out, I'm just gonna kind of create some interesting lines to flesh out the background, to both complement the figures, and kind of make an interesting shape for the cover of the book. Down here is going to be mostly dark with white text here, and then I'll do something with the title up here. So this will be sky up here, so there's nothing it's going to interfere with the text. But here I don't want to create just a straight across line because that's kind of boring. So these two characters are kind of walking uphill. So all this down here will be dark, and then you kind of see some streaks of of light and shadow in the landscape behind them. Maybe a bird in the sky or something, I don't know. I'm also trying to plan out where the horizon is intersecting with these two figures. I think it's right about here, even though I said that was too high. But that goes right across his little buffalo guy's head. I don't want to create a weird tangent, so I'm going to have mountains kind of sloping up in this direction to kind of hide the horizon, which means the mountain kind of slopes down in this direction and kind of ends there. That's looking pretty good. So that all down there will be dark, so I don't need to fuss with that too much, because that'll all be in ink. Trees in the background. So now, before starting with the Sumi brushes, which can be a little bit messy, I just want to preserve some of the details that I've worked out with just a little bit of Micron pen, just so that, since faces and likenesses are so specific and so fickle, I don't want to leave it to chance that I'm just gonna get it right with a big kind of bristly brush. So this is just a safer way to kind of make sure that I don't lose these lines. I'm going to do my best to kind of work slowly with the bigger brushes, but I can always make mistakes, so I just want to preserve the size of these shadows, where the eyelids are, and where the eyebrows are. That should be good enough, and then I can move right into the ink. Just laying down broad areas of dark, or starting with what is going to be darkest, and then as the brush dries out, I can use the remaining ink in the bristles to kind of do cross-hatching or like hair. Kind of find slowly where the darkest areas are going to be. And in fact, where there's going to be very delicate detail, like in the face, the likeness, I'm probably going to dry out the brushes beforehand on the paper towel. I'm not going to erase the pencil lines unless I need to make an area lighter for some particular reason. Otherwise, they just add depth to the drawing, so I'll keep them. can see I'm slowly making her hair darker and darker and making the highlight on her hair smaller and smaller. As I get more confident about where what the shape of her head is. Now most of the inking is done. I'm just going to use this white chalk and kind of pop out some highlights. Not in the figures themselves, I kind of want them to remain a little darker than the sky. Basically, I'm just going to start at the horizon and kind of create a glowing horizon to kind of highlight the figures and also create some depth and another value to this painting, another a highlight that will increase the effectiveness of the midtones. Try to block out the horizon. And also, and then once all this is done, I'm just going to use this blender to kind of blend it out like that. I'm going to be more careful, and it's going to kind of frame the figures. And the last thing I do, which I won't have to do much of in this drawing, is now that I have the darks and the lights kind of mapped out, I can use this X-Acto knife and I'm just scraping away at the surface to peel away or to scrape away some of the darks that I don't want. I can use this to make little lines in the grass, or even use it more aggressively to kind of make areas that are dark a little lighter. It gives a little different quality to the paper. The paper underneath is a little lighter in color than the surface color, so I try not to do it too much, but it is effective in kind of giving a different texture to the drawing, and a kind of a little more interest, and it's a little more I don't know, a little more tactile, a little more different than just ink on a paper. So I use it in case of emergencies, if there's an area that I don't like, and it can be solved by going a little lighter, or I can use it for in this way, where I'm just kind of drawing little blades of grass.